Hey guys, John Grimsmo here, and we got Pierre over there. We are doing a quick walk around of the Willemin. We are turning it on for the first time. Very exciting. This is the moment when you kind of double check everything and make sure that it's, you know, not going to catch fire when you first turn it on. So let's go see. I heard a breaker. In here we got the electrical cabinet, a lot of yellow FANUC stuff, big transformers and copper wires everywhere, contactors and breakers and circuits and everything. Came with a lot of instructions and wiring diagrams and stuff. Back here we have the axis movements, some parts, mist collector, tool changer housing. What Pierre did today is he took all the windows off. Here we go. Because they're 17 years old and they're kind of getting gross and disgusting. There's a whole housing that goes here on the tool changer carousel. So I was quite shocked to see the carousel sticking out of the machine, but he took the housing off. So he got all the glass out, or it's not glass, it's, I don't know, polycarbonate, Lexan, whatever it is. I'm gonna replace it. We got new stuff from Willemin right there. Got some bar feeder and spindle liners, things of that nature. There's a 5/8 spindle collet in there that we need. And yeah. The tool changer is pretty sweet. Uses HSK 40, which is the same as the two UMAC machines and the same as the Kern as well. Also, no window here, no window here. We're replacing all of that. We have air to it. You can hear a little bit of air coming out here. The seal around there, and I didn't feel any coming out of the spindle, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does. 2004 when this thing was made. We have manually jogged the axis just by rotating the belt, moving it forward, and just forward and back, I think. Pierre's back here. He's gonna flip the switch and we're gonna watch the control panel. Ready? And we'll see if there's power. Nothing yet. Oh, I see words. Graphic is ready. Here we go. It's working. Whoop. Door. That the copyright ended in 2004. And we're on.
Hi.
Holy moly. Look at all those axes. A 7. The machine is default set to metric, and the Willemin guys told me it'll be difficult to change it to inch, so don't ask. So I'm gonna ask anyway, but we'll see. I might have to leave it in metric. It'll be our only machine in metric. Now what?
You know, as much as I'd like to move everything around, it's not the time yet.
Yeah.
We'll see. Check a piece of brass in it and make a part.
Let's do it. So here in our shop we have 4 different machines that run on the FANUC operating system. The Mori, the Willemin, the Tornos, and the Nakamura. And while they're all relatively the same, they're all very different. And different just in how the buttons are. Like here's on the Mori, they got the Mori front end. You got a full keyboard, full number pad, memory, MDI, DNC, door open, some general stuff. On the Willemin, it's completely different. You have the FANUC, like, weird keyboard, although apparently it's awesome if you get used to it. I'm not used to it. I don't know what all these buttons really mean. The different logos that I'm used to seeing. There's a lot of like spindle, M3, M4, that makes sense. Coolant gun, washdown. There's a Deadpool mode. I don't know what that does yet. MC is probably an MCC test. But like MDI, jog, I assume that's these, but I'm not exactly comfortable with knowing what they are yet. And the screen's a little bit different. And then on the Swiss, different still. Similar keyboard. That's nice, although you have much more obvious buttons. Position, program, offsets and setup, custom, system, things like that. And then down here you got some other functions with a nice screen. And then on the Nakamura, sort of similar again. You got a full keyboard except all your buttons are here. They're just all different. It's hard to get used to it. Whereas on Heidenhain, like on the Kern and on these UMAX, they're almost like very, very, very similar to each other. I'll show you. The Kern is different than those two. You have literally a full keyboard that's beautiful, full number pad. You got your buttons. I had to add little labels here to remind us. Jog, hand wheel, edit, MDI single block run. That really helps. This button doesn't do anything, that button doesn't really do anything. You know, open a program. You get a legit calculator when you hit that. You can turn that on and off. And then your various axis movements down here. I'm loving that control. It's my favorite control in the whole shop. But yeah, trying to figure out how this thing works. And we're not quite at the comfort level where we just start poking buttons and try to figure it out, because the machine's halfway taken apart and we found the error screen. Here, flip through some. We got a couple errors.
Just a few.
3-phase detection, so the power incoming is not happy. This is interesting. So date-wise, here we are today on year 21, month 10, day 19. And 5/6 is about when they turned the machine off when we bought it 5 months ago. Holy cow. So yeah, so that's their alarms, and then we've got our alarms above that. So there's a couple things need to be cleared and figured out. We're just playing right now. And power is off. I don't know. Some of the machines you have to like turn power and the thing turns on, and then you have to hit like the on button, the power button, to activate everything, and you got to mess with the doors and make sure that they're open and closed. Alright, so it's been a few days, maybe a week or two, since I last filmed that. Been slowly picking away at the machine, trying to get it figured out more, get those alarms figured out. The phase error, I realized, is when you have 3-phase power, you got 3 wires and a ground. And if you switch any of the 2 wires, you will get a different phase. And that'll make your coolant pump, your hydraulic motors, things like that spin the wrong direction if it's wired wrong. So you can use a phase checking device to check and make sure which phase to put it on, or you can just plug in the machine like what we did, turn it on, see if there's a problem, which there was. So what I did is I took 2 of the phase wires, power was off, disconnected, whatever. I switched them, put them back in, I'll show you in a second, and no more phase alarm, and now the hydraulic fan and pump are spinning in the correct direction, and I'm getting the right airflow in the right direction, so that's awesome. Here in the electrical cabinet, I had to trace down where the wires feed in, but it's those wires right there. Blue, black, red, and ground. So I switched the red and the blue. Apparently it's any 2 wires. You could do the black and the blue or whatever, but whatever. I like to do the outside ones, and it worked. So obviously this is main power. Don't kill yourself. And this whole panel is generally scary, so be careful. Look at the size of that thing. I don't even know what that is. Some coil, transformer. Yeah, this is a transformer. Alright, so now we are left with just a few errors. One of which is part handler is out of waiting position and power is off. These are kind of normal things. It basically means the vise is down because the hydraulic pump right through there is not activated properly. But the reason those are happening is if I click the question mark, these are the actual problems that I'm having right now. X-axis radiator fan failure, Y-axis radiator fan failure. They are the same fan, and let's go see what they do. So those are causing the power off to be a problem. The machine can't turn on properly. And because the machine can't turn on, we don't have hydraulic pressure, so it can't make that U-axis vise happy. So I was just on the phone with Alex from Willemin USA, super duper helpful, and he helped me figure out these are your FANUC drives. X, I think he said this one is X and Y, and then like Z and B and whatever, A. There are fans here that are all spinning. Hard to see, but they're computer fans, literally. 24 volt DC brushless computer fans. They're all spinning. They're kind of oily and gross. But what's really happening is, see in the back, right there, the big fan is spinning, but the little fan is not spinning. So I'm pretty sure that that little fan is the problem. It looks kind of oily and gross. So I'm going to shut down the power to the machine, give it a few minutes, let the capacitors discharge, and then somehow I'm going to get in there, remove that fan, try to clean it, put it back in, see if it works. Otherwise we got to replace it. Not a huge deal. I'm hoping I can just find them through some computer parts store and maybe redo the wiring, as opposed to trying to find a FANUC fan. But that might be the only problem we have right now. And Alex was telling me that this is an older machine, 17 years old, and it's running an oily environment for the whole life of it. So I think this machine's been sitting for 6 months. It was running before they turned it off, so I know they didn't have the fan alarm then. But I mean, 6 months of sitting for that oil to just congeal and seize up that fan, it makes perfect sense. And he said that he's actually had customers with older machines, older FANUC machines, that after, you know, a week of Christmas vacation or 2 weeks or something, these kind of issues pop up. But when the machine is on and like cranking all the time, they run forever. So little issues that are interesting about an older machine. I want to show you guys the tool changer. Because Pierre got the housing off, I can show you kind of in closer detail some cool stuff. All right, these are your tool holders, HSK 40. There's 48 positions, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Here, notice we have these blocks just on these tool holders, not on the other ones. This is a turning holder. Well, that's really in there. It has drive dogs on it with an indicating dog, so that it always goes in the spindle the right direction, and it always locks into here in the same orientation as well. This one happens to be an Iskar turning holder with a V insert. This came with the machine because I asked them very politely if they would add one for me, because I use the V inserts a lot. 1/4 inch IC, single-sided, you know, tapered V insert. This one I'm pretty sure has through coolant, but this machine does not have through coolant, so I can't utilize that feature. But the spindle has these mating drive dogs that actually lock it in place so that you can do turning, and then you put a different tool holder in there and you can rotate and you get 30,000 RPM of spinny. So this is really cool. Make sure I clock it in here in the right orientation. There it goes. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, 12, something like that, turning holders, and then plenty of milling holders. I mean, 48 tools on this is too much. It's so much. So we're gonna be very careful about how we load it up, what end mills are gonna be used for everything, you know, 1/8 inch flat, probably 1/4 inch will be one of the biggest that I put in here, drills, things like that, that will basically live in here and be used for all parts. Kind of like how I have the Kern set up. The Kern has a lot of tool holders for its capacity, as does this. Whereas, as opposed to the Mori that only has 30 tools and I use every single one of them. I like capacity. And since we're talking about tool changer, this inside the tool changer door, tool changer here, you have a pre-staging gripper of some sort. There you have your tool changer arm that rotates and takes it from here and replaces it with the one in the spindle. And the stainless steel door that goes up, which you can see here. Door goes up, spindle will move up and over to here, and then that arm will come in and exchange the tools. And You can see the drive dog on that spindle right there. That's a pretty nice free spinning spindle. So yeah, and then you have your spindle motor here, your actual spindle axis, your A axis, which can rotate to, I don't know, let's say 6,000 RPM, maybe 10 or something, but also be an indexing axis. What you'd normally call a C axis, but on this machine it's called the A axis because of the way it's weird. Big motor up here. I'm wondering if that's tool clamp and unclamp. I don't know yet. Oh no, that's obviously the arm. Probably pushes it down, rotate, back up. Yeah, that's what that guy does. Looks brand new. I know that the spindle got replaced 6 months before they unplugged the machine. So this old spindle lasted for like 16 years. And then they got a brand new spindle before I bought it. So I'm very happy with that. It's a $30,000 replacement cost to get that spindle. So I'm pumped. Everything else is little and cheap. So we're getting there. If I can clear that fan alarm, then I should be able to turn the machine on and move it around. All right, I have a next day update for you guys. We took out all of these fans, not the ones in the back, they're harder to get to. We took out all of these and we cleaned them in our ultrasonic cleaner. So we've got a Crest ultrasonic and an Amazon kind of whatever brand. So we clean them in the Crest in a sort of floating cup. This was full of water and a little bit of soap, and we clean them in here. And then when this is full of water and you put the part in here, the part is now submerged underwater too. The energy waves from the ultrasonic do go through the plastic and work in here. You lose some energy, but it works fine, and they look amazing. They look brand new. And then, because it's electronics, we want to make sure they're dried really well, so we soak them in alcohol afterwards, isopropyl alcohol, to displace the water. And then, in order to evaporate that, we went over here to the Kern chiller. This is a fan that is chilling, constantly chilling the glycol that is keeping the Kern at exactly 20 degrees. So this thing is a fan blowing hot air, always. So it's warm to my hand. So we just got them drying here for a while. They're perfect. It's like a free dryer that we have. And we're gonna try them out in the machine right now. So a couple of the fans, they're old, right? We were spinning them, we were feeling, a couple of them feel a little bit slower than the others. So Pierre pulled back the sticker, added a tiny drop of nano oil to the bearing, and we kind of worked it in with the air to spin it really good. And it's feeling better. So let's get them all installed. They look so clean installed compared to everything else. Look at this. Can you see that? I don't know if the light is good enough, but the lids are so much cleaner than the outside. They look great. That ultrasonic worked really, really well. All right, let's check it out. So e-stop off, do a quick reset. Question mark for messages. Okay, that's an old message. That's fine. Parameter write enable, that's fine. I think we're good. I think the only errors we have are that it's not turned on properly yet. So over here we have the hydraulic system. The fans are on, the pump is on, but there's no pressure yet because the machine is still kind of off. And if I remember right, he said door button? No, I think he said you gotta hold the on button for a couple seconds. Oh yeah, something's moving. No air pressure, which I remember we have it unplugged from the line, so we gotta add air right now. Write enable, parameter write enable is normal. Well, it's not normal, but it's not an issue. So we add air to it. And then, we're really, really close. No hydraulic pressure, really close. All right, coming back to no air pressure. Let's hit reset. I can hear air in the machine. It's coming out of the spindle a little bit, I think. I can hear air. There is air. Why are you complaining? Tool changer is not okay. See, this is where it gets weird. Like there's setup stuff. I'm not sure yet. Okay. Just got off the phone with Alex at Willemin. It works. It works. It works. It works. We got the last few errors and mistakes figured out. It works. It jogs. We did a tool change. Let me show you some stuff. Okay. I gotta show you guys. Like everything works. It's crazy. Oh man. Okay. Okay. What do I want to show you? Let me show you some stuff. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I gotta install another tool holder. We have the cover off here, right? So the thing's exposed. But check this out. Alex showed me a sweet thing you can do. He gave me a cheat sheet telling me what everything is. So you got position, program, whatever, offset. Because these, I don't know what these mean. And he calls them Fanuc hieroglyphics. Because all of these, I don't know. The newer machines have labels. The older ones do not. So he was nice enough to create this for him and his customers and everything. So I'm always referencing that. So if I go, what was it? Hand wheel. Not hand wheel. Program, hand wheel. Position, hand wheel. No. I'm doing something wrong here. There we go, hand wheel. The 6 plus 6 minus. And if I jog the hand wheel right here, I can actually rotate the tool carousel. That is so cool. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these tool holders. They're Rigofix HSK 40 super stubby power grip holders. I'm going to put it in. Ow! Oh, I'm going to have to figure out how to do this without hurting myself. I just stabbed myself on this thing. There's got to be a way. Try to put them in with the logo facing in a consistent direction. Maybe it doesn't matter. So I put that in position 1. And then let's do a tool change. So I'm gonna go X, jog over. Okay. Check this out. And I'm gonna go Z, down. And then B, here's the fun one. Oh baby! Okay, watch this. From here, from this crazy position, tool pointing that way, I'm gonna do a tool change. Okay, from here, if I go M6T11, because I moved that tool to 11, end of block insert, we got M6T11. From this position, I'm gonna go a little bit slower. Here's your feed rate knob. You can have it at 0, or you can turn it all the way up to 100. I'll turn it to 0, and I'll turn it up as necessary. Okay, good to go. So when I hit cycle start, it's going to rotate. There we go. Grabbing, pre-calling, opening the door, waiting for me to turn the feed rate up. And then simultaneously, the machine's going to go up. X and B are going at the same time. Oh, so fast! And then it's putting the tool away. And we're done. Okay, that was in pocket 1. So the new tool that I put in was, yeah, I fixed it. Wow, that was cool. So if we go back to hand wheel, X, and then I should be able to jog the X away. I just like seeing it move. Let's do it from there. We'll call tool 1 again. Program, MDI, M6T1, end of block insert. It's going. Yeah, baby! Man, okay, so I bet you if I go C, maybe? Okay, so the C axis does actually command the spindle. I thought it was called the A. That's sweet. The U axis controls the vise going this way. There we go. The vise also tilts up in this direction, but I'm pretty sure that's a hydraulic action. There's probably some M code or button or something. I don't want to do that until I'm ready. But bro, it works, 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 it works. I'm so happy. I've had this sitting on my floor for a few months now. It's been probably 6 months since I first decided to purchase it and went through that whole process. I haven't bought a lot of used equipment before, so I'm glad like all that 6 months is working. It works. I'm so excited. Okay. We got a ton of buttoning up to do, put the windows back in, hook up the spindle chiller, lots of stuff, but that's, yeah, okay. That's good. It works. I'm just so happy. One last thing, I totally didn't even realize this until just now at the end of the day. It's like 6 o'clock. I'm wearing my Willemin t-shirt today. This wasn't really planned. It's got the Swiss flag and the US flag and the Willemin and the sweet like ball screw on the side. And this was like, when I put on t-shirts, I go in order on my stack of t-shirts, and I've always got machinist t-shirts or whatever. This was literally next in line, and it happened on the day when I got this thing running. And one more thing. I found the light switch. It's disgustingly yellow, but look at this thing. Ugh. But we can replace it. Okay, goodbye.